to Canning Fruits and Vegetables. I am your hostess, Darlene Wagner, and today we are going to be learning to make salsa from your own garden-grown tomatoes. Now, the most important part of preparing salsa or spaghetti sauce or any tomato-based home canning sauce is skinning the tomatoes. This can be made less laborious by using the boiling water method. First, you cut an X at the opposite end from the stems and drop them in the boiling water, and the skins should begin to fall away from the tomato like so, even before the pot hits a boil. The thing that makes salsa so wonderful, and the way you can distinguish your own salsa recipe from everyone else's, are the spices and seasonings that you use. And the basis of any seasoning and flavoring for salsa will be onions. Onions, here I have about 5 cups of chopped, diced onions, and about 10 to 12 finely minced garlic cloves in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to put the onions in with the garlic, turn on the heat, start mixing them. Notice that I'm frying everything ahead of time before I actually mix them in with the tomatoes that are about to be rendered. Next, I'm going to add our main seasonings. This is about 3 tablespoons of oregano. You can use fresh oregano, or, as I'm doing, just plain dried oregano. Then I will need at least 1 tablespoon of cumin, ground cumin. Just a wonderful, underutilized spice. I'm going to make it a heaping tablespoon because I like having lots of cumin. Yeah. Mix it in with everything that is being fried. You can always add the cumin and garlic and onions and everything in the tomatoes as they are stewing. However, this approach imparts a unique smoky flavor to your salsa that is otherwise very hard to achieve. The bottom of the pan is dry. I need a little more oil. I want to make everything to flow together, all the flavors to flow together through the oil. Now, another very critical spice is our chili powder. Of course, if you do not like it, if you do not want your salsa to be hot in any way, you may want to omit the chili powder. However, figuring 1 teaspoon will do your recipe some good. Maybe 1.5 teaspoons. So, keep stirring it together. Now, we are ready to start boiling down our tomatoes after we have taken the skins off and removed the stems and any green parts from inside. You should have them in nice gallon bags like this. However, today we are going to use some previously frozen bags of peeled tomatoes. So we have finally reached a boil. Actually, I've been boiling this now for an hour. Yes, it does take a while to reach a thick consistency. You want to get beyond a watery consistency. It really helps to mash the tomatoes and swish the masher around a bit just to break them all up, get them all fine. A very, very critical ingredient now is the lemon and lime juice. In canning, you have to maintain acidity to preserve food, prevent growth of bacteria. This is the lime juice. Very important for a nice salsa flavor. You can also use lemon juice. That was 1 cup lime juice. Now we're going to use 1 cup lemon juice. And mix it up a bit. Smells nice, but maybe I will squirt a little extra lime juice in, which is not going to hurt. A little extra lime flavor. Maybe we need some salt. 1 to 2 teaspoons. A teaspoon of salt. Or another if you want to bring a little more of the flavor out. We already added salt when we were frying the onions and garlic, so we probably do not need more. Well, do some more mashing. I want to make sure the tomatoes are all perfectly fine. Now the tomatoes have been stewing for well over an hour and a half, and I can add the seasoning, the fried garlic, onion, with the oregano and cumin, also with a few bell peppers cut up and thrown in. Make sure they get mixed in. Now, take the rest of my bell peppers. This is only about a cup and a half of diced bell pepper. Kind of make sure they can kind of pick up what's left of the seasoning. I don't want to waste any of it. The 4 cups of diced minced banana pepper. And make sure I soak up all of the seasonings that I'm using. That has almost cleaned my pan. Mix them. That's going to be a nice chunky salsa. Now, to do the honors, to top it all off as far as seasoning goes, a little bit of jalapeno pepper. This is going to be a mild salsa, so this is only about 1/4 cup of diced jalapeno, no more. But still, it'll give a nice tang, a little bit of a bite to the salsa. Starting an hour ago, we were boiling our jars. Now they're at a very fierce boil, as they have been for 10 minutes, so I can turn these down. Now, empty one out. Our funnel is clean. Start spooning in. And you want to leave only like about 1/4 of an inch of head space. You don't want to fill them all the way up to the brim. Grab a dome lid, which was in there boiling. Very careful. There. Set these off to the side. Now, actually, let's use a feature of our stewing pot, in which we were using the jar to clean the jars. Let's lift everything up. That will make things easier. Okay, so now we have all 9 of our pint jars packed with salsa and the dome lids sealed. Now it is time to bring them back to a boil for 5 to 10 minutes. So we have, after boiling the jars for almost 10 minutes, we have let them cool for about 20. They're not cool enough to handle, but they are cool enough for us to lift the wire bottom out of the pot. Make an inspection. Let's look at this one. There. So you have been watching key steps in the procedure for making salsa, and do note that from the time that we began cutting up onions and garlic and boiling down the tomatoes to the time we have removed the jars from the water bath was a total of 5 hours, so this is a major time commitment, but I believe it is well worth it. So you have been watching Making Homemade Salsa as part of the Canning Fruits and Vegetables series with Darlene Wagner. Thank you very much.